At the heart of Negros Occidental lies a long-standing sugarcane economy that has sustained decades of prosperity. Yet behind the success are sugarcane field workers whose labor and lived realities often remain unseen. Today, we shed light on these people who have served as the backbone of the Negrense economy. A pleasant day to everyone. We are Group 3A from BSN 3B, and we present to you our research study entitled Sa Katam-is, Kapait ug Masakit, lived experience of sugarcane field workers with chronic illnesses.
Our research focused on sugarcane field workers in Negros Island, a major contributor to the country's sugar production. These workers are exposed to physically demanding labor, often while suffering from chronic illnesses such as hypertension, arthritis, and diabetes, conditions that require long-term management and may worsen due to their working conditions. This study aimed to explore their lived experiences to better understand their daily realities and provide insights that may contribute to improved healthcare interventions and policies for this population.
Specifically, this study seeks to understand how sugarcane workers perceive their chronic illnesses, how they cope with daily challenges, and how they find meaning despite their condition. Our study is guided by three frameworks. First, Newman's theory of health as expanding consciousness, which views health and illness as interconnected and shaped by one's environment. Second, Roy's adaptation model, which explains how individuals continuously adapt to their internal and external stressors. Lastly, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which emphasizes that basic needs must be met before achieving higher level well-being. Together, these frameworks help us understand adaptation, meaning, and survival among the participants.
This study examined how the demographic and socioeconomic factors such as age, sex, and type of chronic illnesses affect stock workers' health, coping mechanism, and overall well-being, providing a holistic view of their lived experiences.
This study can guide policymakers in developing health programs, assist allied health professionals in planning intervention, raise awareness among employers, and serve as a reference for future researchers. For the research design, we utilize a qualitative phenological approach to explore the lived experience of participants through in-depth interview.
For our participants, we selected 10 sugarcane field workers through purposive sampling. They were required to meet the inclusion criteria set by the researchers while ensuring they did not meet any of the exclusion criteria. For our instrument, we used a semi-structured interview guide which included demographic questions and open-ended items. This was translated into Hiligaynon to ensure clarity and comfort. In our data gathering procedure, we secured ethical approval and permissions, obtained informed consent, conducted recorded interviews, and ensured confidentiality through proper data storage.
For our data analysis, data were analyzed using Creswell and Poth's data analysis spiral involving coding, identifying themes, and interpreting meanings. Trustworthiness was ensured through credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability. To ensure ethical conduct, ethical standards were followed by securing approval, ensuring informed consent, maintaining confidentiality, and complying with the Data Privacy Act of 2012.
Demographic profile of the sugarcane field workers. The participants of the study comprised of 10 sugarcane field workers from Negros Occidental. The distribution included 3 participants from southern Negros and 7 from northern part of Negros. The demographic profile is split equally by sex, with 50% male and 50% female participants. The ages of the participants vary, with the youngest being 40 years old and the oldest being 72 years old. Out of the 10 participant statements, 3 major themes emerged.
Theme 1. The first major theme explores the sugarcane field workers' shared primary motivations and reasons for carrying on in their daily lives despite the challenges posed by their chronic illnesses.
1A. Nurturing hope for one's own family. This sub-theme explores how sugarcane field workers sustain their motivation by anchoring their efforts on their families. Their labor is driven by a deep responsibility toward their children and grandchildren, serving as a primary source of hope and persistence.
1B. Carrying on with hope and provision. This sub-theme explores how the sugarcane field workers remain motivated by focusing on their ability to provide for basic needs. Their labor is driven by necessity to secure food, household necessities, and financial stability, reinforcing their persistence despite physical demanding work. It also explores how sugarcane field workers persist in their labor despite poverty, physical strain, and chronic illnesses to prevent further hardships. Their resilience is motivated by survival and the needs to maintain financial stability and fulfill familial responsibilities.
Theme 2: Navigating the Bitterness of Illness. This theme describes how navigating bitterness reflects the pain and hardships experienced by workers, while also illustrating their acceptance of these struggles as an inherent part of their daily lives. 2A: Experiencing the Burden of Illness. This subtheme explores the challenges of working with a chronic condition, which are often exacerbated by harsh occupational environments. It describes the physical burden of illness as an intrinsic part of the workers' daily lives.
2B. Coping with illness in daily life and labor. This subtheme focuses on how workers adapt to their illness by taking tangible measures to ameliorate symptoms, such as resting in the shade or wearing protective clothing. The workers find ways to address physical needs when symptoms arise. Additionally, these coping mechanisms workers find greater meaning and resilience in their experience.
2C. Securing livelihood through alternative means. This subtheme centers on alternative livelihoods and assistance used to sustain families during the off-season or tigkiriwi when field work momentarily ceases. Literature highlights how the dead season leaves families without income, pushing workers toward other jobs to prevent hunger. The heightened need for survival during this time drives workers to secure any available alternative for physiological safety. This is a shift in role function mode where workers adapt to different jobs to ensure basic needs are met.
Theme 3: Harvesting Sweetness at Sunset presents the participants' message, realization, and reflection. This theme mirrors how farmers end their tiring workday at sunset at a time for rest and reflection. It describes how despite the hardship of the day, they harvest meaningful lesson and strength. 3A. Passing Hope to Loved One. These sub-theme illustrate how the families serve as a central beacon of motivation, enabling workers to endure heavy physical and economic burdens.
3B. Maintaining everyday stability. This subtheme details the arduous daily routine within a harsh environment and dedication required to remain functional for the sake of the family. The daily routine is fundamentally structured around securing physiological essentials. Roy's adaptation model explained how individuals with chronic illness manage their symptoms to continue meeting the demands of their environment and familial duties.
3C. Drawing Wisdom and Faith from the Experience of Illness. This subtheme centers on the profound realizations and lessons harvested from years of labor, serving as a testament to the workers' perseverance and faith. Hardship fosters deep realizations that become a source of wisdom passed on to the next generation. The simulacrum of the lived experience of sugarcane field workers with chronic illnesses can be seen at the center of our poster, which reflects the major themes that emerge from the study. It utilizes the visual metaphor of an open book depicting a day cycle to encapsulate the worker's journey from sunrise motivations of family and survival through the midday bitterness of laboring with chronic illness to sunset harvest of wisdom and spiritual resilience.
The findings reveal that family serves as the primary motivation for sugarcane field workers, acting as a central source of hope, purpose, and perseverance. Despite living with chronic illness, participants endure demanding labor to provide for basic needs and secure their family's future. This dedication is often shadowed by multidimensional challenges as chronic illnesses directly impact their well-being and ability to work. To cope, workers adapt to develop strategies to manage their conditions, building resilience, faith, and personal insight. They come to accept illness as part of their life while continuing to support their family, reflecting strength and enduring hope despite adversity.
The following recommendations may be considered. Policymakers may strengthen labor, health, and social welfare policies. LGUs may expand community-based and accessible healthcare. NGOs may provide holistic, sustainable support in collaboration with local sectors. Expand existing programs such as 4Ps. Health professionals may deliver culturally sensitive holistic care and education. Employers may improve working conditions and worker well-being. Workers and families may promote health awareness and self-management. Nursing students may apply holistic, community-based care, and future researchers may broaden studies on chronic illness. You may scan this QR code to access the list of our references. Before we end, we would like to take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who supported us throughout the creation of this research study. Thank you very much, and that concludes our presentation.